Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily go gettemism number 992 for June 21st, 2017. Did y'all know that today was the first day of Cancer and the first day of spring? I never really realized that the zodiac sign, astrological sign Cancer, kicks off the official start of summer. That's kind of crazy, ain't it? I'm gonna have to start giving those Cancers a little bit more credit than I've probably been giving them over the years. But what I want to talk to y'all about tonight is taking a life. Now, when I say taking a life, I'm not talking about killing somebody. I'm not talking about, murder or, killing, manslaughter, homicide, or anything like that. When I say taking a life, I mean changing somebody's life. When you change somebody's life, you basically take them away from whatever they were before or whoever they were before, and you make them into something different. And there are so many different ways to change a person's life, and there's so many different ways to synonymously take their life. Like if you bring somebody from a poverty-stricken situation to a situation where they're able to provide for themselves financially, you have taken the life away from them where they were basically broke, where they didn't have any money, where they were really struggling to pay their bills and to live free financially. We only talking about financially because other forms of freedom have to be taken into consideration, and they don't always have to do with money. But if you take somebody from a situation where they weren't very knowledgeable, where maybe they didn't read that much, maybe they didn't study that much, they didn't even know what questions to ask, and then you enlighten them and get them to start thinking in more expansive ways, to start expanding their knowledge, to start getting more introspective when it comes to their thought processes, and when it comes to expanding their minds and opening up pathways in their minds, then you have taken them. You've taken their life. You've taken a life that they had of ignorance, of just being middle of the road or flowing along with the fishes, and possibly even being a product of their environment. You've taken that life away from them. You have essentially elevated their status. So you have taken the life of ignorance away from them. And when I say ignorance, I mean that in its purest form. It means not to know something. It can also mean being rude or obnoxious or whatever, but we're not talking about that. We're just talking about ignorance as far as not knowing things, not having knowledge of things, not having wisdom and experience. When you're ignorant to the fact of something, that means you don't know. And we all are ignorant to something to a certain degree. So when I talk about taking a life, I think it can be a good thing to take somebody's life if they are of a lower elevation and you can get them a little bit higher. Don't do it in an arrogant way. Don't do it trying to be Superman, or do it to try to be like, you're some kind of hero, or some type of savior or whatever. You ain't Jesus, but you can take a life of somebody who needs their life taken. Of course, on the negative side, you can also take somebody's life in a negative way. So you can take them from a place of being confident, of having high self-esteem, of believing in themselves and being optimistic. And if you are a negative person who has a high influence on that person, then you can turn them into a negative person, a non-believer, a person who lacks self-confidence, lacks self-esteem. What you want to do? Want to be a baller, shot callers, brawlers. If you're going to take a life, make sure that you take a life in a good way. Take a life that was low and make that life high. Don't take a life of somebody that's working hard and doing well for themselves and try to pretend like you're doing something good for them, because we can tell the difference. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. I said anything can happen to those who go for theirs. I said anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, taking a life. If you're going to take a life from somebody who was down low and bring them up. Elevate them, make them higher, make them better, make improvements. Don't take the credit for it though. You take a life, as you take a life, you're also supposed to be giving a life to the person that you've helped and to yourself. It works out that way. The Daily Go Getterism Show is every single day, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call-in number is 319-527-6199. blogtalkradio.com/Sun752. Peace. Peace. And shout out to everybody who listened to the Urban Therapy with Sun show tonight. That thing was blazing. All right then. Taking the life, baby.